Hey, would you look at that? That's called the 4-ball pyramid. It's a technique of palm spinning in the art of contact juggling, where you spin 3 balls and are balancing 1 ball on the top. Well, in this video today we're going to teach you how to do palm spinning in not just one direction, but also in the other direction as well. It's a real fun technique to execute, and it takes a little bit of time to learn, but with some practice and not giving up and having the right attitude, you too can learn how to do the 4-ball pyramid. So in order to execute the 4-ball pyramid, you want to make sure you have the right spheres on hand. The best ones available are your acrylic contact juggling spheres. These are a 3-inch in diameter size, and that's the one I prefer to use personally. Some people might prefer using a slightly smaller size, or even using those Chinese medicine balls. Those little metal balls that have a chime inside when you shake them. Those work just fine too. Billiard balls, I've come to discover, work pretty well also. The idea is finding something that doesn't have much friction when it rubs up against itself. But as I said before, these acrylic contact juggling spheres are your best bet for so many reasons. Before we move forward though, a little word on safety. When you're practicing anything you learn here on my channel, or anything else for that matter, you always want to be aware of your surroundings and of any potential safety issues. So if there's anything fragile or at risk of being hurt or destroyed within the general area of where you're planning on practicing, you can either select a new area to practice or move stuff away and prepare a nice safe area for you to practice the stuff you're about to learn. I am just trying to teach you new and exciting circus and flow art skills here on my channel. The last thing I want you to do is to injure yourself or anything that you love. And if for some reason something unfortunate does happen, please take responsibility for your own actions. Don't blame some guy on the internet. I'm just trying to help teach you new stuff. If you don't own any acrylic contact juggling spheres, I'm your guy. You can email me at theamazingflec@gmail.com and we can sort out something for you. I have a ball for every budget, and I can give you a discount if you purchase multiple spheres. I highly recommend that you watch my video on how to palm spin 3 spheres in the palm of your hand before attempting to learn the 4-ball pyramid. Because a 4-ball pyramid is essentially the same thing as rotating 3 spheres in the palm of your hand, except that we're going to put 1 more on the top and balance it on top while we spin the bottom underneath. So if you have your spheres all picked out and you have a nice area to work in, let us get started. So as I stated before, we want to start with having 3 spheres in the palm of your hand and start by spinning them. Now in the previous video on how to palm spin 3 spheres, we talked about keeping that plane very flat. We don't want the spheres to be held like this, so there's a downward angle, or up like this. The flatter we keep it, the easier it will be on us to be able to spin them around in the palm of our hand. And it's the only way for you to do the 4-ball pyramid, by keeping that plane nice and flat. If we start by not moving them and put 1 ball on top, if we can hold it still like this, there's no reason why we can't move the bottom 3 underneath it without this one falling off. Unless we're holding it at a funny angle, too extreme, where it can fall off any one of the 3 sides where there's a gap. So the key to doing the 4-ball pyramid is making sure, once again, that you keep your base of 3 nice and flat, and that you make sure you keep the pattern maintained. You want to keep all the spheres in contact with each other, ideally. There's a technique where you can do this separated, but that's for more advanced stuff. But for the sake of this video here today, we're going to focus on keeping the 3 spheres nice and tight together, supporting the one on top. So if you already know how to spin the bottom 3, this should be relatively easy for you to perform. Now you're probably going to drop it quite a bit when you first start this, and that's okay. Dropping it is a part of the learning process, and by dropping it, that's the only way we really learn. We learn what not to do, and we learn how to refine our technique through the mistakes as we make learning this material. So in the previous video, we talked about how instead of thinking of making a full rotation, we're going to make 1/3 of a turn each time. So let's do that right here. I'm going to try to spin the bottom 3 spheres just 1/3. Almost there. There we go. Now you'll notice when you make this 1/3 of a turn, there's an easy part of it and then there's a more difficult part of it. One part wants to kind of flow into itself, and the other one feels like you're going back uphill, metaphorically speaking, that you're resetting it back to the beginning of 1/3 of a turn. So as we make each 1/3 of a turn, you'll push, you move, and there's one part of that turn where it feels a little bit of resistance, and if you can pop through that resistance, you'll start right back at the beginning. So we'll try that again. Push through. Everyone drops it. And the big key to doing this, once again, is making sure that all 3 of those maintain in contact with each other, the bottom 3. The one on top will stay in contact with the three no problem because of gravity, but the bottom three want to separate because of the weight of the one on top. Kind of pushes them apart. But if you keep that triangle nice and tight with your fingers, you don't have to squeeze hard, it's just a matter of keeping them together as they spin around. You'll push them around, there's a little bit of resistance, and they'll pop in place. So think about it doing 1/3 of a turn each time, and you'll find that if you just do that same technique each time, you can smooth it out and you'll have a relatively smooth sailing 4-ball pyramid. Hey, thank you everyone. Thank you very much. It's a crowd pleaser, it really is. Especially once you get it smoothed out. So here we are spinning in one direction, and then changing directions is the same thing as that you would have to do for spinning 3 spheres without the one on top. You spin in one direction with your thumb, propelling it forward and around, counterclockwise. For best results, you should absolutely watch my previous video on how to spin 3 balls to change direction. I explain this whole process in greater detail. So as you're spinning counterclockwise using your thumb propulsion, we're going to change direction by using our ring finger to propel while we use our thumb to accept to spin it in the clockwise position in the right hand. So this should work out just fine. As long as we keep that base of 3 nice and flat, we can balance the one on top and we can spin counterclockwise or clockwise in the palm of your hand. So there you have it. That's the 4-ball pyramid. It's very much a coveted trick in the art of contact juggling. It's a beautiful technique. It's eye-catching, it's hypnotizing, and it's really fun to do. Once you unlock it and you can hold it in the palm of your hand, you can feel that pattern move, and it just feels correct. It feels like you should be doing it the way you're doing it, and there's only one way to do it. Keep that bottom 3 nice and tight, keep that plane nice and flat, and you can be doing your 4-ball pyramid in no time. Jazz hands. Alright everyone, thanks very much for watching my circus and flow arts tutorials on the 4-ball pyramid here today. I appreciate it very much. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and maybe drop a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about this video. And if you're up to it, check out my playlist section. I have everything organized there in a much better way. I post every single day here on YouTube for the year of 2021, and I have a daily vlog post that I do, as well as my weekly circus and flow arts tutorials. So watch out for next week when I teach you more about the art of contact juggling. Stay tuned. But until that happens, my friends, remember to keep safe, be well, stay humble, and peace.